tomorrow. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. Welcome to our TikTok Cruise Chat Live, and you are on the Simulcast. So welcome to the show. If you got any question or comment about cruising or all things travel, please drop them in the comment. And as always, my lovely wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera. And we will do our best to answer your questions. Good morning, Joy. Good to see you. I'm glad we finally got you all set on that Virgin voyage. Yes, I can't wait for you to get on those ships. You are going to have such a grand old time. I just had somebody comment in TikTok saying, wow, it looks like a young singles line. No, it's not. It's really for the young at heart. I mean, when we've been on those cruises, we have had all ages of people on those ships. So, Virgin Voyages is not just a young singles cruise line. It's a really cool adult line. Hey, Nurse Tara, good morning. Nate the Great, I like it, Nate. What is my thought about the Ruby Princess? Yes, let's talk about the Ruby Princess. So if you have not seen the news in the past couple of days, the Ruby Princess sustained some serious damage in the back of the ship. Well, I don't want to say serious damage, but it looked like she actually punched a hole.
Damage.
Huh?
Significant
damage. It looked like she actually punched a hole in the back aft of the ship. And from what we've been able to ascertain from all the news coverage and everything, she was coming in at maximum current, which means the current was running the fastest. And apparently the current was running toward the dock, toward the pier. So when the ship comes in, a lot of times they're backing in and then they're going to spin. Well, this ship was probably coming in forward, and then they said she was spinning, so she was doing a maneuver where she was spinning into the dock. And apparently as she was spinning into the dock, the current must have just picked up the ship and just slammed it right in before they could counteract with the thrusters. Now, one thing I have seen reported a lot is, the pilot was in command of the ship. From what I have seen from Captain Kate and other captains who are on TikTok and YouTube, the pilot is never in command of the ship. The bridge remains in command of the ship. The pilot is there as a guide, because harbor conditions can change literally on a daily basis. And that's why the pilots come on board, because they bring the most up-to-date information. So hopefully you can bring the ship in safely. And apparently it was coming in at maximum current. So it just got whipped and slammed into the dock. And that's something that can happen. I mean, we have seen ships. We've seen, the Harmony of the Seas took out a whole concrete pylon down in the Caribbean because she spun too close. She made a maneuver too close to the pylon. This does happen from time to time. Now, typically we don't see damage the way we saw on the Ruby Princess. That was a pretty significant dent.
The good thing, though, is all the passengers who were still on board who disembarked later that day, like they said, they felt a little shudder. That was about it. So nobody got hurt. Nothing got damaged.
Yeah. So no people got damaged. And then, of course, the next cruise was delayed because obviously the Coast Guard was going to keep that ship there. But they let all the passengers on board. So they were on the ship. They were enjoying all the amenities of the ship. The ship kept on doing what it does best, entertaining the guests. And my understanding is they left 72 hours late. They got the damage repaired to the point where the Coast Guard cleared the ship to go. And there you go. And so that cruise is shortened. They're only going to hit 2 ports. But that's kind of the nature of cruising. Sometimes things happen that are beyond your control. But again, my understanding is when the ship is coming in, the pilot never actually takes command of a ship. The pilot is simply there as a guide. The bridge maintains command of a ship. And it looks like they just got caught in a bad current and the ship just got slammed into the dock. So it's just one of those things that can happen. I think overall, Princess did a great job. Andrew, you're celebrating your grandmother's 96th birthday. Happy 96, Grandma. That is awesome. Hey, good morning, Mindy. Good morning, Becky. Joy, you are absolutely right. You said you're not exactly young here, but young at heart. So Joy is a great example that going on Virgin Voyages is for everybody. Joy, your laughter and your enthusiasm is infectious every time I talk to you. I love getting on the phone with you. So thanks so much for allowing us to be your travel partner. It is so awesome. Nurse Tara is saying, you get what you get and don't throw a fit. That's her motto. Or in other words, you got to go with the flow. You got to go with the flow, and things are going to happen beyond your control. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. Fortunately, the ship was not damaged to the point where it could not go back out. Just basically got a big dent in the hull, and now she's off on her next adventure. So user 122, you're going on the Wonder of the Seas in October and November. Holy cow, twice going on the biggest ship out there. You're 68 and can't wait. All righty then. Yes, I love it. I love it. That's the way you do it, man. Not one cruise, 2 cruises. Let's see. Super. Oh, by the way, if you folks like what we're doing here, please make sure you hit the likes on YouTube and TikTok. So TikTok and YouTube know that you like what we're doing. We do appreciate your support. Thank you. Can you bring a bottle of wine on embarkation day on most ships? The rules have been changing quite a bit of late. What MSC is like nothing, right? More or less nothing.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think MSC is more or less nothing, if I recall correctly. So you have to go into the FAQ of the particular cruise line that you're going on, because the rules are changing all the time with this. It used to be, you can bring like 2 bottles of wine per person.
No, one bottle of wine per person.
1 bottle of wine per person. Over in Europe, like on P&O, you can bring 1 bottle of liquor per person up to a certain size. And I learned that from some folks that I follow over on Twitter. A whole group of them each brought a different bottle of liquor, so they ended up with a whole bar on the ship. So you have to go to the FAQ of the individual cruise line to see what they do and do not allow. It's changing all the time. So that's the best way to find out if you can bring anything on a ship. Go check it. Go check it. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Good morning. Mama Donna, sounds like a dream to you. Yeah, at least being on the ship, at least they were able to be on the ship. So that's good. If you're not able to get onto the ship and you're sitting there in San Francisco, well, that's a bummer. But at least they were all able to get on the ship because the ship was safe to operate. And that was good. That was really good. So Nurse Tara is saying that Celebrity allows 2 bottles per person. That's interesting. I'm not sure if it is 2 bottles per person or 1 bottle per person, up to 2 bottles per cabin. But again, we'd have to check the FAQ. Rebecca is actually going to check it right now. Joy brings up a good point over on the YouTube side that she was booked on a cruise to Greece, and apparently we are still having issues with passports here in the United States trying to get them. And I've read stories of people flying to cities where you can get them same day just to try to get a passport. But Joy was going to go meet Richard Branson and be on that celebratory cruise, and unfortunately her passport was not going to be ready. But you're on a good cruise. What are you on? You're on an 8-nighter, 6-nighter? I can't remember. But you're still on a good cruise anyway. John is saying on Virgin, you can still bring 2 bottles of wine per cabin. Planning to use that to help out with the bar tab in October. And hopefully, John, you got your $300 or $600 bar tab on that cruise as well. It has been awesome. It has been awesome. Let's see. Shannon's taking your first cruise in April since 2008. Well, welcome back to cruising. Cheers, Shannon. It's going to be exciting. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Cindy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Stacy, thanks for the great video about drink packages. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it is kind of interesting, when you have drinks versus like entire packages. And like Stacy mentioned, I have Elliot on the thumbnail. I wanted to bring Elliot home. He was such an amazing bartender. I just wanted to bring him home. Is that weird? Yeah, that's weird. But I really thought he was great.
It is 2 bottles of wine per guest.
There you go. Well, she said it was 2 bottles per wine per guest when she went on the Celebrity Summit just recently.
That's interesting.
So Nurse Tara, yeah, it is 2 bottles of wine per guest on Celebrity. So you can bring 4 bottles of wine per cabin on Celebrity. That's different. Usually it's 1 bottle per. But thank you, Tara.
The thing is, you do have to bring that in your carry-on luggage. You cannot put it in your checked bags.
Yeah, that's true. So never put the wine in your check bag. Always carry it on. That's what they want you to do. So yeah, and Cindy's saying it took 12 weeks to get your passport recently. Nice. Roger White. Hey, Walter, do you have any plans to sail on Carnival Venezia? Absolutely. I really want to sail on that ship. She looks beautiful. She looks like, to me, it looks like adult Carnival, like Carnival grown up, sort of, kind of. I know she's been getting some knocks from folks. I don't know what they were expecting, but Carnival's made no bones about the fact that they were going to leave the ship pretty much as a Costa ship. They left the funnel, they left the colors on there. So I really do want to see it. I've seen some of the Instagrams and videos from Mark Anthony, the cruise director. Looks amazing. So yes, she's coming to Florida. I would really like to get up to New York. I'm from New York originally anyway, so I could go up and see some family. So I'd really like to do that sail away in New York. I don't know if I'm going to get up there this year, but definitely when she gets down here to Florida, I definitely intend to sail on to Venezia. It just looked amazing. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning. Mom of three going to Alaska in August. Awesome. Now, there was some news that came out today or yesterday to be very aware of. Anybody going on an Alaska cruise that starts or ends in Vancouver, the longshore strike is now starting to affect the cruises. Royal Caribbean sent out a notice letting passengers know that there could be some delays with the luggage handling, and they're recommending that anybody leaving the ship do self-disembark so that they just take their luggage with them. And then secondly, in August, there could be a railroad strike, which will shut down the Yukon and White Pass and Yukon Railway in Skagway. So you need to keep an eye on both of those stories. Cruise Hive, like a beehive, cruisehive.com is a great place to get the latest information on cruise news and what's going on out there in the world of cruising. So anybody going to Alaska, if you're going to Vancouver, keep an eye on that longshore strike and how it may affect your luggage handling. And then keep an eye on the railroad strike because that will shut down the train in Skagway and you won't be able to go on that. Mindy, when you book Celebrity with no refund deposit, are you able to change the date? Is there a penalty? That depends. That's the best answer I can give you. That depends on what you're trying to do. And if you are before, there is much more flexibility in everything before final payment. Once you've made final payment, the flexibility changes. So the answer is that depends. And if you work with a travel agent, I will say a lot of times, because we're talking to different people and we have business development managers that we can talk to, sometimes, we can kind of finagle things by talking to them versus you just being a guest calling in. But yes, for the most part, it's, they want you to take the cruise. So especially if you haven't hit final payment yet, there's a lot more leeway going back and forth. Now, Virgin Voyages has a lot of leeway.
The official policy is there is a penalty. I can't remember if it's $50 or $100.
The official policy is there is a penalty, but we have leeway in that. Stendeck 7, is Holland America going downhill? No, man, they've been coming out with some amazing ships. That Rotterdam, whoo, we've been booking a lot of folks on the Rotterdam of late, and I have one client that was on the 14-day New Amsterdam up in Alaska. She loved it. She had a great time. So have I ever heard of Royal Caribbean matching your point status with other cruise lines? No, Royal Caribbean doesn't do that, do they?
Just with Celebrity.
Just Celebrity, yeah.
And you do have to be at a certain loyalty level to get the match.
Yeah.
But they will.
They only, it's just reciprocal matching with Celebrity. The only cruise lines right now that do actual status matching, you got Virgin Voyages is doing it. Right now, technically through the end of 2023. They are working on a plan, a permanent plan, and then MSC. But MSC is kind of cool. They match cruise lines and hotel things and stuff like that. So yeah, I know if the Zoom Wi-Fi is any good. Yeah, it is. We were on Symphony of the Seas in December, and I had no problem doing live streams from the ship. Now the thing is, with any cruise ship,
you did have the surf and stream.
Yes, I did have the
surf.
Yeah, I had the surf and stream. So there's Zoom and there's surf and stream. So Rebecca,
Zoom, technically.
Oh, whatever it is. But Rebecca just had the regular. I had the surf and stream. I had no problems streaming TikTok from the ship. I think I even did a YouTube from the ship, and had no problems watching things. But what you have to keep in mind is, internet on a ship is not at all like internet at home, where you're just in one place and we've got these nice copper lines connecting everything. Out on a ship, weather comes into play. The angle of the satellite comes into play. Now, Starlink has been putting up a lot of satellites. I mean, a lot of satellites, which is starting to fill in all the gaps. So
Cruise Girl is correct. Surf and Stream isn't. I forgot. Surf and Stream isn't a thing anymore due to Starlink.
That's right. That's right. So it's just one package, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one package.
It changed between the time we booked.
Yeah.
And then the time we sailed.
And the one thing I will say is since the restart, especially since we became travel agents, I have been working remotely from the ships. I've been able to do calls over Wi-Fi. I've been able to do video chats. I park myself running, like I look for the repeaters, and I park myself right under a repeater when I know I'm going to do a live stream or I'm going to do a call. The only issue I've had was on Virgin Voyages, I couldn't make calls over Wi-Fi with my Android device. I could do WhatsApp, I could do video chat. I just couldn't use actual calls over Wi-Fi. But on Royal Caribbean, on Princess, on MSC, calls over Wi-Fi worked perfectly well. So yeah. Brilliant Goldie, hi, how are you? You need to reach out to chat about your next. Yeah, please do reach out. All you have to do is just go to my logo right here, right there on TikTok, and then click contact us or contact me at the first link, or go to where'swaltertravel.com, click contact me, and just set up an appointment on my calendar. That's the easiest way to do it. Whatever time is convenient for you, I'll give you a call. So yeah. Nurse Tara saying that the Venezia looks very glammed up. She does. She looks like, she's a beautiful Carnival ship. She's not at all what you would expect. I can't wait to see her in port. I think it's going to be amazing. Sparkles Academy. Well, that's a fun handle. I like that. You just returned from your 19th cruise yesterday. Rock on. Rock on. I love it. I love it. Mom of 3, you're leaving from Seattle. So keep an eye. You're going in August. Keep an eye on that railroad strike just to make sure if you're planning to take the Yukon White Path train in Skagway, keep an eye on that. So Shannon, Michelle, can I find you on YouTube? Yeah, actually, we're live on YouTube right now as well. Where's Walter Travel on YouTube? So on Sunday mornings, we do the dual stream simulcast, and then on Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're exclusively on YouTube. We're starting to bring on a lot of guests. We're going to have Virgin Voyages, MSC Cruises is going to be on, American Cruise Line is going to be on, Princess is going to be on, Royal Caribbean is going to be on. So Thursday night at 8:30 p.m., certainly check our YouTube channel out. We'll be announcing more and more guests. I'm trying to do Thursday nights with guests. We're also going to have guests who just went on cruises just to talk about cruising. So yeah, on YouTube, check out our Thursday nights at 8:30. So Jeff Becky, good morning. Any idea when Virgin will open post December 24 sailing dates? Great question, Jeff. So I just had a discussion with our contact at Virgin this week, and they're anxiously awaiting too. The deal is with the Brilliant Lady coming out, and the Brilliant Lady has been modified slightly so she can go through the Panama Canal. She is Panama Canal ready when she launches. They're really taking a good look at, now we're going to have 4 ships. Where are we going to redeploy? So I don't know if we're going to get the West Coast in 2024, but I would certainly expect by 2025, we're going to have a Virgin ship on the West Coast for at least one season, somewhere in the season. And then what is it going to do? But we don't know when that's coming. Even my sales contact is like, we don't know, but we're all chomping at the bit to see them. So soon, Jeff, in the immortal words of Spaceballs, when will then be now? Soon. So soon. Hey, Scott, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Whip 4119 Cruise Hive for Cruise Noob. Yes, Cruise Noob. Absolutely. MSC is a fun cruise line. We had a great time on the MSC Seaside. Shannon, you had to pay $100 per person to change dates for a cruise, was not at full payment yet for RC. Again, it depends. It just depends. Sometimes as a travel advisor, we can talk to the folks and maybe ask them, can we do this without a penalty? What can we do not to have a penalty? So it all depends. It depends on what's going on. And that's why I say it depends. So, yeah. Let's see. Surf and Stream, no longer a thing, right? What about Wi-Fi on an Alaska cruise? Now, what's really interesting, Holland America launched Starlink recently. And apparently they're getting rave reviews on Alaska. So Alaska was a dead zone for a while with Starlink, but I guess Starlink is starting to fill in that area up there. So they've been getting, Holland America at least has been getting rave reviews with Starlink up in Alaska. So I would say any of the ships that are using Starlink, you should be getting pretty good performance up there now. Mary Beth, what do you know about scenic cruises? One of your favorite ships, going to be on several of them. I don't know anyone who has cruised with them. We have not personally cruised with them. We do book scenic, and depending on what ship you want to go on, things like that, we could certainly provide you with more information. But we have not actually sailed scenic yet. I've definitely been looking at them. Beautiful cruise line. I mean, beautiful cruise line. So if you'd like to talk about it, certainly you're on YouTube right now, so there's links in the description to my calendar. Feel free to set up a time to chat. I'd be happy to chat, find out, which of the ships we're looking at, what the itineraries are, and we can get you all the information on that. So yeah, so reach out. Would love to chat with you about that. Scenic is just one of like the most stunning cruise lines out there. Absolutely beautiful ship. Just top level service, top level food, just top level everything. So yeah, Mary Beth, certainly reach out. Go in the description of YouTube. Click the link for booking a calendar time with me, and let's just chat. Let's see what we can do. You're welcome, Mary Beth. Thank you so much for your support and tuning in. Lori, good morning. Are you at an arts festival again today? How are you? Good to see you. Cruise Girl saying that the internet is better. Let's see. Trisha, you just returned last Saturday from your first cruise on RC and you had a horrible experience. I am so sorry about that. Kind of curious, what was bad about it? Did you book it yourself? Did you book it through a travel agent?
What ship did you book?
Yeah, which ship did you book? What were you expecting? So one of the things that we pride ourselves on is matching up a first-time cruiser with the right ship. It is so important to be on the right ship. The cruise line actually doesn't even matter for the first cruise. It's the ship. Like Royal Caribbean is a great example. They've got, 25, 30 ships across multiple classes, and not everything has everything, and not everything going to provide the same experience. So I'd really be interested. I know your questions are probably going to be down there a little bit, but can I beat Royal Caribbean price? You have called them for a price to Europe for 2024. Now, Royal Caribbean controls the pricing. Where we can sometimes help, we have, I want to say, well over 2,000 group cruises that we can choose from. We're part of a larger consortium, and that consortium has group cruises running from now through 2024, 2025, something like that. And depending on the cruise that you're going on, I can go into the list and see, we might have some extra onboard credit. We might have some shore excursions. We might have some sort of a package with that cruise. So if you want to reach out, but no, most travel agents can't beat the cruise line price, because they set the price. So all of us basically have the same price. But there are ways that, like, we may have some extra onboard credit or other perks that we can offer. You just got off the Bliss yesterday and you were disappointed. I am so sorry. I know our dear friend Stephanie and then Ben and David, they all had a great time on the Bliss recently. Would love to know more. If you want to reach out to us, Trisha and P Marie with a silent P. Feel free to reach out. Again, on TikTok, you can go to contact me. I would love to know. I'd love to know what you were disappointed by, and see if maybe there's things we can learn from that, and maybe get you on a better ship in the future. So, Frank, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Gary. How are you? Will your normal cell service work in port on roaming, or should I just stay on Wi-Fi? That depends on your service. So we have T-Mobile. We have T-Mobile on our phones, and one of the reasons why we switched to T-Mobile is because we can use, we get free data in over 150 countries, so pretty much the whole Caribbean. In London, I had free data. And then our phone calls I think are 25 cents per minute or something like that.
In most countries.
Yeah, in most countries. So it all depends on the service. Now, most mobile providers will offer like an international plan, like you order it for a week or two. And I did see somebody posted in our Facebook group about AT&T offering now a maritime cellular service. So you can actually use your phone in full on. You don't have to go into airplane mode. You just leave it in full on while you're on the ship. So that's out there now if you're on AT&T. So you can quote Spaceballs all day. I love it. Holland America, I don't think so. Again, we have had multiple clients out on Holland America of late, Palm Beach, and nobody has complained. They've all said the food's been good, the service has been excellent. So far, we have not had any complaints from any of our clients, and we have more clients going out on Holland America in the coming weeks. So, hey, Frank, we were just talking about Voom a little while ago. As far as we know, Holland America is getting rave reviews for their Starlink service in Alaska, and Royal is also on Starlink, so it should be good. When's the best time to purchase a cruise, the best sale date? When you're ready to buy, really, because the thing about, especially when you're working with a travel agent, we can get your price adjusted. So up until final payment, we can call in and get your rate adjusted. So if you buy it today, like we just had a cruise rate adjusted for $800. Like we dropped it $800 because Holland America dropped the price on her particular cabin category. I just called in, boom, $800 off. So if you're working with a travel agent, anytime's the best time to buy a cruise. And up until final payment, we can get your rate adjusted. And then after final payment, sometimes, but they're not obligated to do this, sometimes the cruise line will offer onboard credit if the price adjusts further down. But more often than not, once you hit final payment, the price starts going up. For example, Virgin Voyages is like 2.5 times what it was when we started selling our Thanksgiving group cruise. So right now, today, it's almost 2.5 times the price that it was when we first started selling it. So more often than not, the prices are going up rather than down as we get closer to the cruise. So you see people complaining about difficulty getting dinner reservations on VV now that they're at full capacity. Well, that can happen. I mean, that can happen with all the ships. But what they do hold back some of those reservations. So when you get on the ship, there will be some reservation times. There will also be standby lines that you can go to. So if you if you go during prime time, I don't know, like 6:30 to 8 o'clock, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people there. But if you go earlier or later, you probably won't have as hard of a time getting in. But that's like any ship, any ship, the reservations sell out, and that is a medium-sized ship. So you shouldn't really have all that much difficulty getting the restaurant you want, as long as you're willing to finagle your time. I mean, if you I got to eat at 7 o'clock, well, yeah, you're probably not going to get some at a restaurant. But so far, we haven't had an issue with that. I think the last sailing we were on, it was fairly well full.
I'm not sure.
Thanksgiving, it's going to be the most full of a Virgin ship that we've sailed so far. So Virgin Voyages opens up their dining reservation to the Rockstar 60 days out and 45 days out for everybody else. So the Rockstars do get first crack at it, and then everybody else gets in. So I mean that's what's going to happen. Joseph, I haven't actually seen what the deal is that Princess is offering yet.
I did see it's a.
Oh, you got it?
Well, part of it at least. They're getting a future cruise credit of 75% of the cruise for people who continued on the cruise, 50% future cruise credit for people who canceled.
Gotcha. So there you go. So 75% future cruise credit if you stayed on the ship, and 50% future cruise credit if you left the ship. So there you go. 75. Oh, and Joseph is saying 75 off the current trip as well that they're on right now. Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. I was actually looking for the deal before we came on here, and that's when I saw that the ship had sailed 72 hours late. But they're good. But yeah, I mean that's basically what a cruise line is going to do. When a situation like that happens, obviously, all of your port fees and taxes are refunded immediately on the ports you're not going to go to, and then they're going to do a make good, because that is a situation. It's a situation. I want to say it was beyond their control because they had no control of the currents. Now there's a lot of speculation that the pilot told them to make a bad maneuver, but we're going to find out once that investigation comes out. But good for Princess for doing a make good on that. And I'm sure everybody who stayed on the ship, they're still going to have a great time. They've been on a ship. So they were in San Francisco for 2 days, but they were having a good time. The ship was running. So I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. Kabal. Hi, how are you? You're planning to go on a cruise for your birthday next August. What's the best place to visit? I don't know what you like. What do you like to do? Do you like to snorkel? Do you like to do action and adventure stuff? Do you want a beach? Do you want to go to Alaska? Do you want to go to Europe? I mean, where do you want to go? Pretty much yes, for the best place to visit for your birthday. I mean, that's basically it. Where do you want to go? So once you know where you want to go, then we look at how can we get you there. So, you want to go to the Caribbean. Okay, so we can get you there from Florida, from Texas, from New Orleans, maybe even like Baltimore, New York. There's a lot of places we can get you there. And then what do you want to do? And then we go find the itineraries that match up with what you want to do. So yes to the best place to visit. Just you have to figure out what you want and then talk to a travel advisor and let them help you put the cruise together, especially if it's for your birthday. Let somebody else take care of all the planning, whether that's us or somebody else. Our services are free, 100% free. We don't charge you a dime for our services. We get paid by the travel suppliers later on. And we are a travel concierge. So we book the cruise and then we stay with you right up until the end of the cruise. In fact, I just had a call yesterday with a client. We booked the cruise, I think 6 months ago, and we just had some new stuff that we needed to take care of. So we took care of all of that. And it's his mom's birthday. So his mom's going to get some birthday surprises on the cruise from us. So yeah, chat with us. Let's see if we can help you out. Scarlet Lady Rockstar. Do they restock the alcohol? Mega Rockstar. They restock the alcohol. Regular Rockstar, you get one bar setup, and then you would have to pay for anything extra. But Mega Rockstar, you get unlimited alcohol in your cabin, and what is it, $25 up to $25 drinks throughout the ship. Yeah.
Although I have heard that if you buy a drink that's over, you get charged the full price, not the difference. That may have changed, but at least originally.
So originally, with Virgin, they would allow you to have $25 drink, up to $25 drinks at the Mega Rockstar. But Rebecca's saying the original policy was when you went over, you had to pay full price.
Although I think you could also get bottles up to a certain amount as well, like bottles of wine, at least wine.
Rachel Claire wants to know what my favorite movie is. It all depends on the day, but it could be Spaceballs. It could be It's a Wonderful Life. It could be Christmas Story. There's so many. I like movies. So hey, Maureen, how are you? Holland America. They are not just a 70+ age community, and one of the reasons why they skew older is because they have longer itineraries. So anytime you go over 7 days, you're going to get an older crowd, because mainly like the families and the younger folks are like, oh, well, I got 7 days. That's all I can do. I can't do a longer cruise. But when you get these 35-day voyage to the Viking types of things, oh, it's amazing. So,
and I have to say, we did kind of use that to our advantage on our very first Thanksgiving cruise.
Yeah.
In 2012, we went on Holland America knowing there would be fewer children than on other cruise lines.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to go on a cruise line that doesn't have so many kids, even Princess Cruises, they are a family cruise line. And of course, their newest ships are actually going to be leaning into that a little bit. They're putting some activities up on the top. So if you want to go on a ship, basically adults only, but not go on Virgin voyages, I mean, Holland America is a great choice for that.
And we were in our 40s when we went on that ship. So we had a great time.
Oh, we had a fabulous time on that. Connie's asking about Grand Turks. Fabulous place to visit. One of the best places to get an Instagram photo of you and the ship. Absolutely amazing. No, Noemi, I'm sorry. I may have said that wrong. You're going on the Quantum of the Seas to Alaska tomorrow. Can you upgrade the refreshment package to deluxe beverage on the ship? It's going to cost more on the ship than if you did it in advance. So I don't know if you can still do it. They may have closed it on your app. I don't know.
No, you can't anymore.
Yeah. So yes,
it's like I think 48 hours.
You can upgrade it, but it's going to cost more than it would have had you done it in advance. So, but yes, you can. You're going on your. We are going December, first time, and concerned about motion sickness. Any recommendations? That's a great question. So, first recommendation: hopefully you got a cabin somewhere in the middle of the ship, and preferably a little bit lower, because that's where the least motion is on the ship. If not the middle, I prefer the aft section of the ship too. I find that to be smoother than the front, because the front is cutting into the waves, whereas the back, you've got the propeller digging down in. So I find that the back, like the middle to the back, I think is a great spot for first-time cruisers. So for motion sickness, obviously there's that patch. The patch that goes behind the ear is the most popular thing. But my strong advice to you is to check with your doctor first, because there can be side effects with that patch. So don't just buy one and just stick it on there without checking with your doctor, because there could be side effects with that. Good morning, Norma. How are you? Thanks for joining in. On board the ship, obviously Dramamine, you can do that. Ginger candies and ginger tea is supposedly good. Green apples, the crew swears by green apples. And our dear friend Stephanie, who had been on over 100 cruises, who does get motion sickness from time to time, over 100 cruises, and she gets motion sickness. She gets the C-bands that put pressure on the inside of your wrist. She swears by them, and the name of the product is C-band. That's the actual name of it.
There are other.
Yeah, there are other ones out there. And she has a whole slew of colors so she can color coordinate her C-bands with her outfits. I love her so much. Stephanie is the best. Sean and Steph's channel on YouTube, you need to subscribe to them. She is just the most wonderful person in the world. And Where's Walter Travel is very proud to be her travel partner. So we handle all her travel. And if you let us know that Stephanie referred you, that goes to help support her travels and her channel. So that is really, really fantastic. So Sudsy, how far ahead can a cruise be booked? As far ahead as they've got the calendar. In general, we'll see the repositioning cruises show up first. So like right now, we can book 2025, maybe even 2026, some repositioning cruises. Some world cruises, they show up way in advance because we're going to book those out. But for the most part, I'd say about a year and a half, maybe 2 years for the most part. Like right now, we don't have, I think we're up to August or July 2024 on Virgin Voyages. We don't have anything beyond that. So that's like a year. So we're waiting, except for some of the repositioning stuff, but we don't have like the main itineraries. So yeah, so as far ahead as the cruise line is going to show us, really. Great question. Joy, what do you got there? I really want to talk to your family into a group cruise in Alaska. Yes! There are more adults than kids. I want Holland for the music to be 2025, perhaps other ships. Yes! Please do reach out. Yeah, so for Holland, for Alaska, obviously we lean into Holland America and Princess right off the bat. Celebrities, another really good cruise line. And then we've got, Oceania, we've got Viking, we've got Cunard, we've got a lot of other choices out there that, depending on what you guys are looking for, we could get that. And who knows, will we ever see Virgin in Alaska? I think that will be quite remarkable. Should the brilliant lady ever add Alaska to the itinerary, I'll be on that, man. I would probably take Virgin to Alaska. I totally would. Norma, what's the best time to cruise to Europe? Well, if you don't want it to be in the dead of summer, avoid summertime, the dead of summer. But, it's going to be very tourist heavy during the summer months, during the U.S. summer, when the kids are out of school. So it is going to be very tourist heavy during those times. So if you want to avoid the tourists, go when the U.S. kids are still in school for sure, because the heart of the summer is going to be the busiest months. But there are cruise lines cruising the Med pretty much all year round. Now, the main U.S. lines come back to Florida or New York or the West Coast. But there are cruises going on all year long over there. So that heart of the summer is going to be the really busy tourist time. So if you want to avoid that, April, May, maybe September, October, just avoid the heart of the season potentially. Vicki Brown, best months to travel to the Caribbean. Well, there's ships all year long. I mean, now we've got the Celebrity Beyond is going to be doing the Caribbean all year long. So we've got really good ships. We've got the Oasis class. We've got Freedom class. We've got MSC. We've got Holland America. We've got so many ships, Virgin Voyages. There's so many ships that, you just have to know when you go in the summertime, it can be hot as blazes out there sometimes. We try not to cruise like July, August. We prefer to go like September through March if we're going to the Caribbean. That's when we like to go to the Caribbean, like September to March in there.
And honestly, for the most part, the air temperatures don't vary a ton. The humidity might, And the ocean temperatures might vary, but the air temperatures are usually within
pretty close.
10 degrees.
And like we cruised in March on Mardi Gras, and I actually like needed a long sleeve shirt a couple of nights. It got a little chilly. Maddie's asking, what's the best time to cruise? Anytime, literally anytime. There is no best time to cruise. Anytime, because we have 350 cruise ships, I think, right now, all around the world, and we got, I don't know, 50 more coming in the next 5 years. So anytime is a great time. So Stacy, you got your medallions. Awesome. So Stacy's talking about the ocean medallions that Princess uses, and instead of a ship card, you get a wearable. You can wear it as a necklace. You can wear it as a wristband. You can have it clipped to your pocket. And oh yeah, there it is. Right. Yeah. Here it is. This is the ocean medallion from Princess right there. And I wore it as a wristwatch. So instead of a card, instead of a ship card, this is what you use. This is also what you use to get on and off the ship. So it's brilliant. You pay for things. In fact, as you walk up to the bar, if you look at the iPads in the corner, you're going to see your picture show up. So they're tracking you all over the ship, which is kind of awesome because you can order anything from anywhere on the ship and they'll bring it to you unless you're me. Apparently they can't find me, but Stacy they found everywhere on the Sky Princess. She's just walking around.
They found you a couple of times.
They found me a couple of times, but Stacy they found every time. So why is my wife always hiding off to the side? She doesn't like to be on camera. There you go. She was an audio designer in television production for a long time, and audio designers hide in a dark little room. The rest of us are in the light. But the audio people, they're in the dark. They're just like, doing this thing with their hand. So she doesn't like to be on camera. She doesn't like to be in the light. She likes to be behind the light. It's so hard to decide on a ship. What do you recommend for someone who just stays on board? Well, well, that depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for a lot of trivia? Are you looking for, things like flow riders, ice skating rink? Depends on what you're looking for on the ship. Some people just want a pool. Like, when the ship is in port, I want everybody to go away, and I've got the pool, I've got the movie screen, I got it all to myself, and that's what they want. So really, it's what do you want on the ship when you're in port? Because I do have some clients who are like that. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to get off at port. I just want a really good ship. And then we just, we present, like Norwegian has a lot of things to do. Royal Caribbean has a lot of things to do. Carnival has hilarious trivia. They have so much freaking trivia. And then if you go on a ship like the Mardi Gras celebration and soon to be Jubilee, so much food included on those ships. So I don't really recommend anything to stay on board until I know what you're looking for on board. One of the Carnival ships has an IMAX theater inside. I think it's the Panorama has an IMAX theater. So there's like so many things to do, but you may not want any of that. Maybe you just want a good bar, like the Norwegian breakaway class. I love that class because they've got the ocean front or the waterfront down on deck 8, like with an outdoor bar, outdoor seating. I mean, I remember we went into St. Thomas and Rebecca and I decided not to get off the ship. We just sat out on the waterfront all day and it was gorgeous. I mean, we literally did nothing all day. We just sat there and read. It was so nice. So, oh yeah, that's a great point. Cindy's saying, when you're in port, go do all the things that have lines. Because, the flow rider's running, the water slides are running, ice skating is running.
They may have more limited hours.
Yeah,
but
it should all be running. Yeah, it should all be running. So, yeah, but that's the best time. In fact, we were commenting on the Scarlet Lady that we kind of wish there were some water slides on the ship. Like the thing that the kids hog all day long. It's like we almost kind of wish there were a few of those things on the Scarlet Lady and the Lady ship. I understand why they're not, but. You're going on your first cruise on a Carnival Venezia. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Can you chat with family members on the Carnival app that are on the same cruise? You can. Is it still $5?
I can't. It was when we did it. It was $5 per person.
Yeah. When we sailed,
I'm not sure that it is anymore.
Yeah. When we sailed, it was $5 per person to add that feature, and it is totally worth it. They may have rolled it in now. I hope they have. But Carnival has one of the best apps in the business. Royal Caribbean has a good app. Carnival has an outstanding app. In fact, I love Carnival's app because when you're ready for dinner in the main dining room, if you're on My Time Dining, you do it through the app. and then it notifies you when your table is ready. Like on Royal Caribbean, you need to stand there and wait till your table's ready. But on Carnival, you just tell them your table's ready. You can go get a drink. You can go start watching a show, and then you'll get notified just like a pager on the app. So when we sailed, it was $5 per person to add that feature on the app. I highly recommend it. It is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Maddie, you're going to be on the Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas, July 21st. Yes, I'll tell you what, those Oasis class ships, it's just the freakiest thing, because when you're in a port, take a picture of your ship next to another ship, and then it looks like you photoshopped it because your ship is so wide. It just looked so weird. Macrina is saying on YouTube that Carnival Chat is still $5 per person. Okay. Really worth it. Totally worth it. Spend the $5 per person. It's really great because everybody kind of goes their own way. And what we were doing was, hey, I'm going to be doing trivia in the Limelight in 10 minutes. Anybody want to join? And then we would just meet up, and it was great. The biggest thing about cruising with a group or a family or something like that, don't try to overplan it. Don't be like, okay, we're all going to do this, and then we're all going to do that, and we're all going to do, because everybody doesn't want to do the same thing. You might think everybody does, but everybody doesn't want to do the same thing. Maybe you want to meet up for dinner, but the best way to go about, a big group or a big family is to have that chat feature. Maybe you all plan a couple of dinners or something like that, but then just like all day long, hey, I'm doing this. Anybody want to join? Hey, I'm doing that. Anybody want to join? And that's a great way to do it. So yeah, those chat features are fabulous. How are the pools on the Oasis? Well, based on the Symphony of the Seas, the pools are great. Now, as with any ship, especially one family ship, the pools are going to be jammed during sea days. It can be hard to find a lounger. It can be very crowded in the pool, but that's the nature of cruising on a sea day. Now, on a port day, if you decide to stay on the ship and make it a ship day, you're going to have a lovely pool day. I can't remember. Does Oasis have an adult pool?
They have one in the Solarium. I think they might have a small one in the
Solarium. They might have a small pool. They don't really have like an adult pool area. They've got an adult area, Solarium, but not really an adult pool. But will.
It might be a small pool.
Yeah, but the pools are lovely. They're big. They're quite large. But as with any family ship, there's going to be a lot of kids in the pool, and there is going to be a lot of people sitting in the lounger. So you're not really going to have a whole lot of room to hang out on a sea day. Just know that. That's why we love, so one of our favorite ships, if you really like pools, the Solstice class and then the Edge class, which we haven't been on yet, but definitely the Solstice class and Celebrity has the most amazing solarium pools that are adults only, 16 and over only. And that's our go-to. Even on a sea day, we're just sitting there on nice padded lounges, chilling. So yeah, that's really nice. Toodle Holmes, how are you? Have you had any experience yet using mobile passport control app when re-entering the U.S.? So I have it on here. However, all the ports that we have been into, except a couple, are using facial recognition, so we don't even have to use the app. We do all that stuff before we get on the ship. We set it all up on the app. Our picture's in there. All of our information's in the app. And with the facial recognition, like the passport never comes out. But I do have the mobile app on my phone.
And my mother just used it recently when coming back from a Mediterranean cruise, and she said it made life so much easier.
There you go. And her mother is not tech friendly at all. She's not tech savvy at all.
She's better than a lot of people her age.
She's getting better. Do people use the pools on Alaska cruises? That's a great question, and I had this distinct memory burned in my brain. Was it Glacier Bay? Which one is the one where we spin?
I think that was College Fjord.
So College Fjord. It's the one, and maybe somebody can correct me. It's the one where like 7 glaciers all come in.
College Fjord.
So College Fjord. The ship sits in the middle and does a slow 360 spin. The pools on the Sapphire Princess, at least the main pool, was heated. And to this day, I remember this dude, while we're all looking at the glaciers, he's swimming laps in the pool, which was heated. So people do use the pool. And in fact, I was daring Stephanie to use it. I said, you should use the pool on the Spirit and then go run and get into the hot tub, just like Ben and David did when they were on their they were on their Christmas Marketplace river cruise, and they were in the hot tub, which I thought was hilarious. But yes, people do use them. Absolutely. You're welcome, Vicky. Britt Brett, you just booked your second cruise, Carnival Conquest. Yes. Rock on. Matt, you're going on the Celebrity Equinox next month. Have we been? Have we been? Oh, wait, hold on. I got to go get them.
That's actually a ship we've been on twice.
We've been on that ship twice. We've been on the Solstice class 4 times. So, yes. So, the coolest thing about the Celebrity Equinox and the Solstice and the Eclipse, there is honest to goodness glass blowing on those ships. Rebecca and I made these. Rebecca made the purple one. I made this one. And the price depends on what you want to make, but it is the Hollywood Hot Glass, I believe is what it's called. And on the very first day, on embarkation day, they will do a demonstration up there, and you can sign up to do stuff. But the Equinox has actual, honest to goodness, glass blowing on the ship. Plus, they have amazing pools. I mean, absolutely amazing pools on the ship. Great service, great staff. The Cafe Al Baccio is great. If you're going to stay in the Aqua class, the Blue Restaurant is phenomenal. And yeah, just fabulous. And of course, you got the Lawn Club upstairs. Honest to goodness, Bermuda grass on the Lawn Club. Just great ship. I love those ships. Ping pong. Do I like Disney or Celebrity for food quality? Both. Celebrity, I would say Disney is a step above, but they're both really, really good. The rotational dining on Disney is probably the best main dining room experience you're going to get on any ship. It really is. It's like going to a specialty restaurant every single night. But Celebrity's food is pretty doggone close. It really is. So I think they're both very good. Where did I get the wristband? Are you talking about for the
yeah.
So for the Princess medallion, we got it on Amazon. So you can actually search for Princess Ocean Medallion. You can also search for Apple AirTag. They're the exact same size. So any accessory that works for the Apple AirTag will also work for the Princess Medallion.
Although they do also sell things on the ship.
They do. They're more expensive on the ship. We just ended up with a set of silicone wristbands. I want to say what? They were like $11.
I can't remember.
Yeah, we got a set of 4 wristbands, and I got the ones that were bright obnoxious. So mine was yellow, like this bright neon yellow. It was just obnoxious.
So. And I will say though, a lot of those wristband accessories are primarily designed for children, so you have to be sure you're getting one that's big enough
actually fits for
to fit your wrist. And if you have a bigger wrist, you may have to get the ones on board on Princess, because they do come in a large size on board.
Well, and to that point, then look at the ones that specifically say Princess Ocean Medallion, because I have noticed that they have larger stuff if you do Princess Ocean Medallion. Jonathan, great question. Are we wasting money booking a Havana interior room on the Mardi Gras? So for those of you who don't know, the Havana section on Carnival, it's not a ship within a ship. It sort of kind of is. But on the Vista class, it is a much larger area with a pool and everything. I have heard complaints. Now, we were on the Mardi Gras and we saw it. The Havana section is an overhang on the front starboard side of the ship. And people say it's not as good because it's like a closed off section, and you have a dunk pool, really. So I don't want to say that you're wasting your money.
I will say it was we could see that area from our balcony.
Yeah, it was nice.
And it looked nice. I mean, sure, it's probably not as nice as the Vista class, and it certainly was less crowded on like a sea day than it would be in the main
if you
pool.
Want to sit out, and just look out at the water, it was much quieter on the sea day than the pool area up top. So there is that. And it does have the best coffee on the entire ship, Cuban coffee in that Havana bar. Holy moly. So it's up to you whether you're wasting money or not. But from those who have sailed the Vista class and the Mardi Gras, I have heard that folks like the version on the Vista class more. It's larger and it does have a full pool. It's totally up to you whether the value is there for going into it on the Mardi Gras. But the Mardi Gras is a great ship. I will say that. It is just a fabulous ship. James M makes a great point. Spas offer offer deals on port days. So, and the deal varies. I mean, I've seen things like up to 40% off, whatever. So on port days, if you want to do a spa day, a port day is a great day to do it because they know everybody can leave the ship, so they offer some enticement to stay on. Can I go on a cruise if my passport expires 3 months after disembark? The official line is no. But It's all up to the gate. It's up to the workers at the terminal.
And it also depends on the countries that you're going to.
Yeah.
A lot of the Caribbean countries that will probably be okay.
This is something where I would call my counterparts at that specific cruise line and talk it through with them and say, this is the situation. Will they be able to get on the ship?
It might not be a bad idea if you're going to try it just to have your birth certificate and driver's license there as a backup.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. Bring your birth certificate with you as a backup just in case. But the official line is no. They want it to be 6 months. Unofficially, you may or may not have an issue. So Holland America has cabanas to just relax and enjoy the day. Do they? Holy moly, do they ever? We did this. So
we rented a whole week.
Yeah, we rented a cabana for the whole week. I think Holland America actually has some of the best cabana rentals.
No, we did do the ones fleet. Above the pool, not the one on the pool deck.
So the ones on the pool deck, I would not recommend those because there's not much airflow. So it gets kind of hot and cramped, the ones on the pool deck. But we were on the New Amsterdam and we got the ones one deck above the pool. So we were looking at the roof or we were looking down into the pool. Holy cow, we had it for the whole week. I mean, we had folks bringing us waters and fruit and, can we go get you something? And it was right next to the coffee shop. So the Navigator bar or whatever it was, all I had to do was just open the door, go inside, or have the guys go get me a specialty coffee. Holland America, thank you for reminding me about that. I totally forgot all about that. Holland America has fabulous cabanas to rent for the entire week. They're fantastic. So, Maddie, you're having a hard time understanding my time dining. Okay, that's a great question right there. So
it works very, very slightly differently depending on the cruise line.
But I'm trying to remember. You are on the Oasis. I think you're the person who's going on the Oasis. That's Royal Caribbean. So the dining room is open from about 5:30 to about 9:30 p.m. That's when the main dining rooms are open. My time means you can show up at any time between 5:30.
I think on Royal, it's not. I think the my time can't start till like maybe 6:30.
I was on the understanding that it's right from the get-go.
Okay.
But we would have to check that. But basically, you can show up during the dining hours, and then you will wait for a table. And when a table is ready, they will seat you. Now, that table could be ready in 5 minutes. It could be ready in 30 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on if you show up at prime time, like between 6 and 7:30, that's prime time. You're going to be waiting the longest. Now, alternatively, you can go to the main dining room during the day and make a reservation.
Or you can do it on your app.
Oh, does it do it on the app too? Mm-hmm. So it does it on the app too. I can't keep track. There's like so many apps, so many cruise lines, and everybody does things too. Why don't all the cruise lines just do it exactly the same way and make it easy for us? Oh, God, so much to remember. Like we literally work with about 20, 25 different cruise lines. Try to keep all that in your head. But you can go to the main dining room or use the app, and you can set a reservation. And I highly recommend that versus just showing up, because there will be 2 lines. It's actually going to be 3 lines. There's going to be the my time. The people who have 5:30, 8 o'clock, they're going to have their lines to line up. Then there will be the wait list or standby, and then there's going to be the reservation line. So I highly recommend you can go to the main dining room, or you can use the app and set a reservation time, and you can make that reservation time at any time that the dining room's open. That's basically my time. My time just gives you flexibility.
You can also make the reservations before you get on board on the website.
You can do that, but it gives you flexibility. So if you're like, hey, you know what? We want to go catch the show at 6 o'clock, so we'll make 8 o'clock dining reservation, or we want to get the 8 o'clock show, so we'll make 6 o'clock dining reservation. It just gives you flexibility versus having that rigid set time. And some people love that rigid set. Now, when you go on Disney, you got no choice. You are going to be assigned a time. So, Just Too Sassy, how are you? You're sailing in November to Aruba on the Carnival Magic. Nice. Part of the ABC Islands. The ABC Islands are fabulous. With Bonaire, per Rebecca, saying that it has some of the best snorkeling in the world.
From what I hear. I have not done it yet. We haven't been there.
Yeah. Mike, you just switched from the Enchantment to Symphony. You love the bigger ships. Yeah, that is quite a bigger ship. We were on the Symphony last December. Fabulous, fabulous ship. Buckeye, you're going on the Carnival Horizon. Sweet, sweet. James is saying that the Solarium has a huge jacuzzi. Nice, maybe 2. I bet they do have 2. I bet they're like on either side, but it could be dead center as well. Loretta, do we know much about the MSC ship? Yeah, in fact, I got a whole playlist on TikTok from the MSC Seaside. We were just on the MSC Seaside, well, I guess a month now. About a month ago, we were on the MSC Seaside. We went standard on purpose. We did not do the yacht club, but we did have friends on the ship, actually friends and clients who were on the ship in the yacht club. So we were able to do some nice comparison. But I have a whole bunch of videos right on TikTok in my MSC playlist. We had a great time. The food was really good. I thought the buffet and the main dining room was better than Carnival and Norwegian, just based on our sailings on the more recent ship. And the specialty dining was great. Ocean Cay, I think, is now my favorite private island. The beach club at Bimini is still my favorite cruise resort, but that's not a private island. In terms of a private island, Ocean Cay, I think, is now my favorite private island. It is just absolutely beautiful. So bummed about the Mendenhall Glacier situation. You had a tour booked and it got canceled. I haven't seen that one. Sorry, I've missed that. Are they no longer doing tours there? That's a shame. What would be a good cruise for someone 50 years old traveling solo? That all depends on where you want to go and what you want to do. I mean, so for example, I've got the Caribbean, we've got the West Coast, we've got Hawaii, we've got Alaska, we've got Europe, we've got Galapagos, we've got the 2 poles. You can go to Antarctica, you can do the Arctic. There's so much. So I don't know. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And then, of course, with solo, we have to look at that solo supplement. You don't want to be paying for 2 people. So once we figure out what you like and what you want to do, like even Hurtigruten was offering a 0 solo supplement on their expedition cruises. So it depends on, the best cruise for you at 50 years old traveling solo is whatever makes the most sense for what you want to get out of it. And where do you want to go? What do you want to see? So there's a lot of options. Everybody always talked about, we know about Norwegian's got solo cabins, Virgin has solo cabins, Celebrity has solo cabin, Royal Caribbean has a ton of solo cabins, Holland America has some solo cabin, MSC does a lot of no solo supplement. So it just depends on where you want to go. There is so much out there for you. I would probably lean into, say, Princess, Virgin, Holland America, and Celebrity. I would probably lean into those 4. Just in terms of a cruise line. But, Viking is adults only. Azamara's out there. Oceania's out there. Her mom just had an amazing time on Oceania. So, yeah, there's so much out there. I mean, if you want to reach out, just click our logo. Again, I said it before, our services are 100% free. You don't pay us a dime, and we do all the travel planning for you and help you pick out the right ship and everything like that. So, yeah, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help you. MSC Meraviglia. Oh, good. You had a good time on the MSC Meraviglia. Nice. Let's see. You recently checked in for your Carnival cruise. I got 1030 Zone B01. What should I expect?
That's about what we had, I think.
Yeah. Are you the one on the Mardi Gras? Or I don't know which ship you're on. But, I mean, so it's going to be crowded in the terminal. I mean, we call it the cattle call because it's probably going to be this big, massive room that you're going to be in. And they will start to board. Now, 1030 zone, they usually start boarding between 11 and 11:30. So you are gonna get in the terminal, and you are going to be sitting there in a big holding pen, and I do mean a big holding pen. And then they will start calling with A1. And if I recall correctly, with the Mardi Gras, we were B1 or B3, one of those. But from the time they started, like they called A1 to us, I think it was 15 minutes. And then we were going on board the ship. So Carnival gets it going pretty quickly. At least they did on the Mardi Gras. So you're going to be on the MSC Seascape in September. Yeah, I'm looking at the Seashore, which is her sister, because she's coming up to Port Canaveral. So when she comes up to Port Canaveral, Rebecca and I are going to go back on MSC. We are going to do the yacht club on our second cruise. And I'm looking at the Seashore because she is that next evolution of the Sea series. The Seaside series. So yeah, that is awesome. Have a great time. You're leaving December 8th on the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas. Wow. I love that class of ship. Now Royal Caribbean's main dining room is okay. Their buffet has gotten better. We both commented that we thought that the Windjammer on the Symphony of the Seas was better than pre-pandemic. That was our first Royal Caribbean cruise since the restart, and I thought that they had upped their game in the buffet. The buffet was much better. Now it's still not the best. Celebrity, Disney have two of the best buffets in the business, just hands down. And Holland America's is quite good too. And then Virgin has the galley, which is their food hall concept. But yeah, I mean, it's not the best food. Their specialty dining can be quite good. If I don't know if there's a hooked seafood on there. We really enjoyed hooked seafood. And I always love Azumi. I think Azumi is one of the best sushi and hibachi at sea. So yeah. Disney's awesome. You're going to be on the Wish in 30 days. Oh yeah, Macrina is reminding us that on Carnival they start with like the diamond and the platinum and all of that. Like they start with all the top level people first, then they get to A. But like I said, when they announced that first zone on the Mardi Gras to us, it was like 15 minutes. We were going fast. We were going very fast. But Kim's going to be on the Wish in 30 days. Nice. That is so awesome. We've not done the Wish yet. We've done the Fantasy. Great ship. Shannon, you're not doing excursion at Nassau. Should we take a cab to Atlantis? That's up to you. Atlantis is kind of expensive if you think it's worth the value. Now, our friend Stephanie, Sean and Steph, she did a full episode on the Margaritaville at Sea Resort, which is also right there. It's within walking distance. She said it was awesome. She's also done Atlantis. But she said that the Margaritaville at Sea had the lazy river, has a whole water park right there, and it is within walking distance of the ship.
And less expensive.
And less expensive than going to Atlantis. So that's totally up to you. Yeah. Jamie, you're going on your first cruise next April on the Norwegian Gem. Nice. Going to Bermuda. Love it. Love it. That is a smaller ship. She's a more classic ship. She doesn't have all of the bells and whistles up on the top deck, so that will be a little bit more of an adult crowd. And yeah, that should be a fabulous. I've got folks going on the Pearl who are going up to Canada on that too. So Northwest Man, how are you? You're thinking of doing a European river cruise. We've not been on one yet. We booked a bunch. Haven't been on one yet. So my plan, my long range plan is Cunard to Europe, do a river cruise, and then either Cunard or another ship back to the U.S. So we can go both ways without actually getting them on a plane. But we have booked clients. I think AMA Avalon for sure. Trying to think if we've done a Viking. I don't think we've booked a Viking yet. But we booked them, but we've not been on them yet. They are amazing. They are more all-inclusive, and depending on the line, they're more or less inclusive, like all the meals, all the alcohol, all the excursions on some of them, and then maybe one excursion, alcohol with meals on others. So, it just depends on the line you're going on. But yeah, if you want to talk about it, certainly reach out. We love talking about river cruises. They're so much fun. No, Aaron, you like my shirt? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Thank you. And hey, and by the way, if anybody likes these shirts on YouTube, there's a link to our store. And on TikTok, there's a link to our store in the link tree as well. I've got a whole series of shirts there. In fact, I got some new shirts I'm going to be putting out there. So yeah, you can get your own Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads shirt. And I've done them now as two-sided. A lot of folks asked me if I could put the design on the back, and we did. So we've actually changed the shirts around a little bit. So, but your coworker was on the Ruby Princess the morning it hit the pier, and he didn't even know until the next morning. Yeah, a lot of people really didn't know. Zach, have we ever had the Infinite Veranda on Celebrity Apex? We have not. We've not done the Edge class yet. But our friend Stephanie, she had the Infinite Veranda, right?
Yeah, and Ben and David did a really good
yes
overview of what it's
yes.
like.
Yeah, our good friends Ben and David, Cruise with Ben and David on YouTube. They did an excellent overview of the Infinite Veranda, the pros and the cons on their channel. They were on the Beyond. So look for their Celebrity Beyond vlog, Cruise with Ben and David. Great guys, super nice guys. It's been our pleasure to get to know them over these past few months. And but I think they did one of the best pros and cons and what the Infinite Veranda is really all about. Their Celebrity Beyond vlog series. We're going on one soon. Kylie, what's the mobile app for passports and how did it work? It's actually like, I think it's called Passports to
It's
Go.
Mobile Passport Control.
Mobile Passport Control.
And honestly, it's really more important for airports than cruise ports.
Yeah. Cruise ports are doing a lot of the facial recognition now,
particularly in the Caribbean cruises
Yeah,
from the US.
But what is it? Mobile passports?
Mobile Passport Control.
Mobile Passport Control is the app, and you can put all of your passport information right in the app. Shannon, you made reservations for My Time Dining with RC on the app. Brilliant, brilliant. My time is 5:30 to 9:30. Thanks, Frank.
And actually, I read that it depends on the ship that you're on.
Gotcha.
Sometimes certain ships will start My Time a little bit later.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. MSC Seaside next month, Casio. Great, great. Hey, be sure to check out our playlist here on TikTok. I've got a whole bunch of videos on the MSC Seaside. I still owe YouTube a review. I know I've got to record that review, but I do have a short review sitting on TikTok. User 321, you're taking a Cunard cruise but can't find their app. Do they not have one?
They don't. But apparently they do have something called My Voyage once on board, which is a digital planner, does a lot of the same things as an app, but you access it via a website browser.
Yeah. So they're using a browser right now, which is kind of surprising because, I mean, Princess has an app, Carnival has an app. It's the same company. And Royal Caribbean actually did it the best. I mean, it's the same app on Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. They just reskinned it. So it's a shame they don't have one yet, but I guess you're going to use a web browser when you get on the ship. Lynn, you just came back from Europe on Odyssey of the Seas. Really nice ship. I really want to get on a Quantum class ship. I want to do the bumper cars. I want to do the iFly. I'm dying to get on one of those ships. Roger, you're going to be on the Mardi Gras September. Nice. Love it. What cruise line to Mediterranean? Depends on what you're looking for. So we've got Princess, Holland America. We got Celebrity. We got Norwegian. We got Royal Caribbean, Oceania. I got Azamara. Got P&O. Depends on what you're looking for. They're all good. What it really comes down to is the itinerary and how many kids are you okay with being on the ship. So if you go on a family cruise line, oh yeah, even Disney's over there too, with great cruise line. So we tend to lean into Celebrity has a lot of great itineraries. Princess has a lot of great itineraries. Holland has a lot of great itineraries. And then like Royal Caribbean has some of their smaller ships that they do really good itineraries as well. So it really comes down to the itinerary. So first you've got to know, well, where do I want to go? And then once we know that, then we can take a look at the ships that are available. And it's not going to be the cruise line. It's going to be the ship. What ship is going to give you the best experience for what you want in the Med? So we never really go with cruise lines with our clients. Even if our client comes to us and says, hey, I want to go on a Celebrity cruise, we're going to probably present Princess. We might present a Royal. We might present an I didn't even say MSC. MSC is huge in Europe. And MSC is very unique in Europe in that you can get on the ship at about 20 or 30 different ports. It's not like Barcelona, Athens, Rome. You got to get on at one of those 3 ports. No, it's like MSC. You can get on literally 20 or 30 ports in Europe. So it's a very unique situation.
And even on the same cruise, people will be entering and leaving at different
It's almost
ports.
like a train, right? It's almost like a train. Oh, okay, we're coming into Rome. All these people are getting off. These people are coming on. It's totally different than any other cruise line out there that I know of, that people exit and enter pretty much at every single port. So that's one of the things that really makes MSC unique, and it might fit better for what you're trying to do. So yeah, reach out if you'd like some help, John. We'd be happy to help you. Jamie, you're looking forward to your first cruise next April on the Norwegian Gem out of Boston. Yes, awesome. First time cruising with 18 to 25-year-olds. I'll say a prayer for you. 5 or 7 days. Which cruise line do we recommend? It all depends on what they like to do. So not all 18 to 25-year-olds are the same. And if they really like the idea of having a surfing simulator, having ice skating, maybe having, skydiving, things like that on a ship, well, then you're going to be going to Royal Caribbean and you're going to be going to one of the bigger ships. If they're not so much into all of that, that opens up more cruise line. Like Carnival has a roller coaster on their ship, and Carnival has a ton of included food. So you might have some kids that are like, I don't really need all that much to do, but man, look at all this food I can eat. And it's all free. So you're not paying through the nose for all this food that the kids are eating. So it really does depend on what those 18 and 25-year-olds want. Probably, and again, we don't recommend cruise lines, we recommend ships based on what those 18 to 25-year-olds are going to want to do. You're probably going to be on Carnival, MSC, Norwegian, or Royal Caribbean. You're probably going to be on one of those 4 cruise lines. You might even be on Disney.
Although when I was that age, I would probably, I'm
yeah, you would have been like a
quiet.
celebrity. You would have been like celebrity princess, right? So yeah, so it all depends on what those 18 and 25-year-olds. Don't worry about the cruise line. You got to get the ship. You got to get that right ship, and also the itinerary too.
And one thing to be aware of is most cruise lines will follow the alcohol policies of the port where you embark.
Yeah.
So most cruises that leave out of the U.S., you cannot drink until you're 21. There are exceptions.
Yeah. Virgin Voyages.
And I believe Norwegian, if the parent is with them, they can sign
25.
a waiver. But most cruise lines, you will still have to be 21 to drink.
Yeah. And I didn't realize you said 18 to 25. So Virgin Voyages is in play as well. Virgin doesn't have all the outdoor stuff, but it is almost all inclusive. Wi-Fi, gratuities, meals, group exercise classes, and soft drinks are all included in the fare. So, and the 18-year-olds can drink alcohol once you hit international waters on Virgin Voyages. So that even comes into play. Sandra, do I know how long passports are taking? They're taking a long time. That's all I can say. Our dear friend Joy was supposed to go to Greece in August, and she canceled it because she doesn't think she's going to get her passport in time.
A lot of that will also depend on which
passport center
that you are required to apply to.
There are passport centers that you can go to and get a passport while you wait. And I've read news reports of people literally flying to these cities to get their passport. It's
expensive, but you can do it.
So you can do it. You can literally get, and I don't know what the turnaround time for expedited passports are these days. There is such a thing as an expedited passport that you can pay for. I do know that you can go to a FedEx office. If you have a FedEx office near you, they offer that expediting service. So they can tell you, but it is taking months right now. So Chambers, you're on the Carnival Magic. Awesome. Shannon, do we live in Orlando? We do live in the Orlando area. Yes, we do. Zach, have we ever sailed out of Port Everglades? We love Port Everglades. I love those big, I love the big condos on the side as you sail out because they're usually waving flags and waving at you. It's great. Reed, will we be going on the Icon? We have been invited onto the Icon. We will be on one of the preview sailings. So probably just 2 nights. One of the shakedown cruises. Probably going to be a bunch of media on that cruise as well, but we have been invited to go on a first one. Yeah. Is Carnival's faster to the fun really worth it? You know, there are some people who like maybe they just can't deal with crowds, or you know, for whatever reason, maybe they don't like the idea of we have some clients like that actually that they just can't deal with the crowd, so we want to make sure they get priority boarding and get them onto the ship. So if that comes into play, yes, it can be. It all depends on how much it is, right? And how much do you think it's worth it? I mean, is it worth it to pay extra to get priority boarding to get on the ship right away? Or are you okay just waiting for your boarding time? I can't answer whether it's worth it or not. It's totally up to you whether you find value in it. That's always my answer with a lot of these things. Is the key worth it on Royal Caribbean? You know, are the drinks packages worth it? You've got to do the math and go, well, I'm going to pay this much. Is it really worth that much value to me and my family? Or can I take that money, buy dinner or do an excursion or do something else with the money that I would have spent just to get on the ship faster? And I know there's a couple of other things that come with it, but that's the primary thing you're paying for is that priority boarding. So it's up to you. It's up to you. So can anyone retain your services? Yeah. New media professor. Anybody in North America can. Yeah. And the Caribbean. So North America and the Caribbean and anybody from anywhere in the world can retain me for Virgin Voyages. I can sell to anybody in the world on Virgin Voyages, but all the rest of the cruise lines, we have what's called cross-border rules, and they limit who we can sell to. Now, one thing I will say is I can't sell travel insurance to clients in Canada. You have to get your own.
Or anywhere outside the U.S.
Yeah, anywhere outside the U.S. I think we can get you to travel insurance through the cruise line, which is not the best, but I can't sell you third-party independent insurance if you're outside the U.S. But yeah, anybody can. Where's WalterTravel.com. Hit the contact page and go ahead and set up a time to talk with us, or just click my logo on YouTube, on TikTok, and then the first link that will come up is contact me. And of course, on the YouTube side, just go down in the description, links in there as well. And if you want to order a shirt, you can order a shirt there as well. We've got all kinds of shirts and things up there. So yay. Star class on Royal is worth every penny, zero stress, and best family vacay ever. I'll tell you what, Star class is awesome on Royal Caribbean. We've seen the genies around that come with the upper level suites. I'll tell you what, they do a great job. They do a really great job. And I think especially as the newer ships come out, everybody is talking about, oh my God, the Icon, there's going to be so many kids, so many of this, but they've really elevated the suite experience as well. And they've really elevated that nighttime experience for adults. So, just because Icon of the Seas is going to keep the kids occupied so you can have a good cruise. Basically, that's what the Icon of the Seas is going to be. To get the kids out of my face, I'm going to go have a good time. What is a good cruise ship for Italy, Europe cruise? Kind of like what we talked about before. It all depends on the itinerary that you're actually looking for. Princess, Celebrity, Holland America, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, MSC. They all do European itineraries. So it just depends on what what's your Oceania, Azamara.
Azamara, I know, does one that's Italy specific, like it's predominantly just Italy.
Yeah, Viking, I think, does one as well. So it depends on what you're looking for, and obviously the budget comes into play as well. Some of these cruise lines, like Viking, I think we can wrap the air right in. Even Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Princess, we can wrap the air in as well. So it all depends on your budget. And when you say Italy, what do you mean by Italy? What do you specifically want to hit? Because very few of them only do Italy. But like she just said, Azamara has a really nice one it's just Italy. You're not going to go anywhere else. So yeah, it depends on what you're trying to do and then what ships are available. Then we can take a look and then help recommend one for that. So Jen Sanctuary, hi. Am I independent or am I affiliated with another company like Expedia? We are an independent travel agency.
Advisor.
Independent travel advisor. And we work under the host agency of KHM Travel Group. That is our primary host agency group. And what's really nice about that, when you work with Where's Walter Travel, you're working with myself and Rebecca. We are your personal travel concierge. But we get the buying power and we get the group. And we get the, like I have all my one-on-one contacts at all the cruise lines through our affiliation with KHM Travel Group. So we are independent travel advisors, but we do work under a larger consortium, which is awesome. I mentioned it earlier. We have like 2,000, 3,000 group cruises that we can book and maybe add some perks and things like that. So yeah, if you want to reach out, we'd be happy to talk to you. Snap's going to Alaska in September on Ovation of the Seas. First time to cruise ever. Wow, you picked a heck of a cruise to go on. Alaska, that is amazing. That is, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have, everything else is going to be a letdown after a letdown. No, it won't be. But wow, Alaska is going to be so amazing. Be sure to tune in. Again, our friends Cruise with Ben and David, Sean and Steph, they have their blogs running right now from Hawaii and Alaska from a Norwegian Spirit. We booked Stephanie on that cruise. It was 16 days, fire and ice cruise, Hawaii, then Alaska. They're in Alaska now on their vlog series. If you're going to Icy Strait Point, if anybody watching this is going to Icy Strait Point, watch the latest Ben and David and the Stephanie cruise vlogs. They all went up to the longest and tallest zip line in the world. Holy shamoly. I want to do it so bad. And I think the gondola ride looks scarier than the actual zip line. Cats and crabs. Oh, you're going, wow, a 2-week land and cruise. Oh, yes. Very nice. That's how you do it in Alaska. If you have the time and the wherewithal, you do 7 days on land, you do 7 days on a ship, and you do that with Princess. You should always do those with Princess because Princess has their own hotels. And I mean, from the moment you land in Alaska, they meet you at the baggage claim. They take care of all your stuff. You stay in all the hotels. Then they transfer you to the ship. You do all of that. We ended up in Vancouver with our cruise. We stayed in Vancouver for like 3 days. Oh my God, it was so amazing. Jen is saying that Alaska was incredible. It was the first cruise, and the cruise bug bit you hard. And I like to remind folks that I did not want to go on my first cruise almost 20 years ago. I absolutely did not want to go. It was our 10th wedding anniversary. At first I did, then I didn't. And by the third day, we had booked our second cruise. So yes. Sarah, have we done the British Isles? We have not personally done the British Isles yet. No. You're going to be on the Jewel next summer. Oh, I don't have any excursion ideas for you, offhand. I will say, if you go to our website, Where's Walter Travel? In fact, I think I may have put the shore excursions link. Yeah, I did. If you click my logo, you go into my link tree, you'll see a shore excursions link. In fact, the little GIF is a Roman holiday. I love it. But our tour partner, Shore Excursions Group, take a look at those. Those are independent tours, but they come with a return to ship guarantee. So that'll give you an idea of what's available. I'm sorry, I can't help you with specific ideas. If anybody here has specific ideas for the British
Cruise
Isles.
Critic has a whole ports of call section, and they will
they do.
Britain, and so you will be able to ask questions, read everybody's suggestions.
Yeah, if you go to cruisecritic.com, join the boards. It's free. It's 100% free. They have so much information, but they have a ports of call forum, and then you can go into the various ports of call. But I would certainly start with our Shore Excursions Group, because they will bring up the itinerary for your specific ship, and then you can just start taking a look at what's out there. Yeah. How do you know where your muster station is? First cruise and you're nervous about it. It actually is very easy. So if you have a cruise card, I don't know which cruise line you're going on, but if you have a cruise card, it's actually on your card. If you have like the app, like we did with the Ocean Medallion and all that, it's going to be in the app. And it's also going to be, when you get to your cabin, on the back of your door, it's actually going to tell you what your muster station is, right? And it's even going to have a drawing showing you which deck and where you meet up. It's super easy. And if worse comes to worse, you ask any crewman on the ship. They're more than happy to help you out. It is one of the easier things to do. Now, you're probably going to have to watch a video. Then you're going to go to the muster station to check in. Super, super easy. It's really, really easy. So do I think the Wonder will make its way to Cape Liberty by 2020? I don't know what they're doing. As of right now, the Wonder is still there for 7 days, and then the Utopia is going to come in to do 3s and 4s. Before that, I think the Harmony is coming in to do 3s and 4s, or the Allure, Harmony, one of those. Allure coming in to do 3s and 4s. So right now, the Wonder is still here, so I do not know. So first cruise, better port to port, or a couple of days at sea in between? Well, for most of the cruises, you're going to have at least one sea day to start the cruise, maybe 2 or 3, depending on how long it is. So the only one I know of that's literally port to port, Norwegian Viva from San Juan. They have a 7-night cruise with 7 stops. That's the only cruise that I know of that literally is port to port to port to port to port. But most of the cruises, say on a 7-night cruise, you will stop at 3 or 4 ports with sea days around that. So yeah. Oh yeah, Pamela, thank you for reminding me of that. On the YouTube side, she's reminding me that our good friend Tony at La Lita Loca, who talked about cruising, he has a whole series of videos on the British Isles. And talk about a nice guy. Tony is one of the nicest people you will ever. Hey, we're just so thankful that we get to hang out with some of these guys. Steph hugs are the best. They are just the best. And Ben and David are just so gracious and kind in person. And Tony's just the best. I love it. I wish we would live a little bit closer to him. I would go over and hang out with him once a week for coffee. That would be so much fun. Jen, we have never done the Norwegian fjords. You know what's the shame? We were booked on that for this past year, and we had to cancel it due to some situations that were going on here. We were going to be on the Jewel of the Seas in the Norwegian fjords. So Tom and Dom Travels have recently done the Norwegian fjords. I know they have posted a whole series, another great set of vloggers on YouTube. But I think they were on the Iona or the Arvia.
Steph did one too. Sean was
Sean
still
and
around.
Steph did one years ago. Yeah, so on the Sean and Steph channel, they did one years ago. So
can't remember which ship.
Yeah, but thank you again, Pamela, for reminding me about Tony. That's great. Chambers, you have reservation for the steakhouse on Carnival. What has been your experience? Any must-have? We have not done the steakhouse on Carnival. We've done it on Royal Caribbean and Norwegian and Virgin.
And Princess.
And Princess. Oh, yeah, the Crown Grill. Holy crap, that was so good. So I know that our Rebecca's sister and my brother-in-law went to Fahrenheit 555 on the Mardi Gras. They said it was good. They said Rudy's Sea Grill was better. We did Rudy's Sea Grill on the Carnival Mardi Gras, one of the best dinners I've ever had at sea. It was absolutely amazing. So I don't have anything to offer for that particular steakhouse. So let's see. Do we need passports? If you're cruising closed loop from the United States, you start in the U.S. port, you come back to that same U.S. port. For most of them, you do not, but there are certain situations where you do need passport. Do you need passport for Caribbean cruise? Again, if you're doing a closed loop, a driver's license and a birth certificate will be enough, but there are some cruises that you do. Check with your travel agent or check with the FAQ of that cruise line. Patrick, going on the seaside. Nice. Have the cruise lines been affected by people avoiding Florida enough? Nope. The ships are full. The ships are full. You're welcome. Is Viking Ocean worth the price? Worth the price is totally subjective. I mean, we have booked clients on a $32,000 Regent Seven Seas cruise that they have absolute value in that. We have booked clients on $950 interior cabins for a week. So worth the price. A, adults only. B, pretty much all-inclusive. In fact, I think it is all-inclusive. I'm trying to think if there's anything that you have to pay for once you get on the ship, maybe. 2, you are getting top-of-the-line European service. I mean, those people are there to serve you and make sure you have an amazing vacation. They're going to know your name. They're going to know your preferences. They're going to know everything about you after the first day. In fact, they're probably going to know something about you before you even get on the ship. So is it worth the price? Yes, it is amazing value and it is amazing service. Is it worth the price to you? That's something you have to decide.
And I think Ben and David did a Viking Ocean cruise, if I remember.
I can't remember if they did or not.
I believe so.
They've done so many cruises. Oh my God, they've done so many cruises. But Viking Ocean, Regent Seven Seas, Oceana. Like Rebecca's mom just went on Oceana. Loved it. She's like, I don't think I'm ever going on a big ship again. The service was personal. The service was top notch. The food was amazing. She's like, you know what? I paid a little bit more for this cruise, but I don't think I want to go on another cruise line, because if I'm going to pay money to go on a vacation, I want to be treated like an adult. I want to have great service. I want to have really good food. I want to really enjoy myself. And she did. So yes, Viking is worth the price if you think it is, if you think you're getting the value out of it and you're going to get the vacation that you want out of it. I mean, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. We represent Viking Ocean and River, and we can compare. Like, for example, we had one cruise where the Azamara ship, which only has 700 people on it, was cheaper than Celebrity. But yet Azamara came with more stuff than the Celebrity ship did. So, there's also that where now Viking's never going to come in under Celebrity, but the value is totally subjective to you. What is value to you? There are people who book an $80,000 suite on Celebrity. They book a $75,000 suite on Royal Caribbean. There's absolute value in that for them. For 7 days, they are going to be treated like royalty for 7 days. So, yeah. Tracy's saying a passport turnaround time, so it's about 3 months. Okay.
Well, it depends on
for you
which passport agency, because there's different ones around the country, and depending on where you live, you submit your application to different offices, and depends on which office how quickly the turnaround time is.
Sarah's going on the Grand Princess next Saturday. Yay, Alaskan cruise. Jen Sanctuary wants to know what's been my favorite cruise so far. That's a really easy answer. Alaska, just no doubt. Alaska. It is life-changing. It really is. And we did the land sea tour. So we did 7 days on land, did 7 days on the Sapphire Princess, and then we tacked on 3 nights in Vancouver. And just to this day, I want to go back so bad. But how about you, Rebecca? What's your favorite one? Don't have one. She loves them all. She just wants to be with me. If she's with me on a ship, that's her best cruise ever. But yeah, hands down, it was absolutely the best. If you're traveling with your spouse on RCL, he has much higher status. Will we be allowed to joint access to the lounge? If you're talking about in the terminal before the cruise, I believe so.
I think so. Yes, there
Yeah.
may be like a cocktail party that he may or may not be able to go
Yeah.
to, but
if you're talking about the lounge on the ship, I don't think so. But if you're talking about the terminal where you wait to get on the ship, I believe you will be able to go in with
certainly
them.
never hurts to ask if he'd be.
Yeah, just ask.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And,
just totally
just,
do that.
Zach was talking about the My Cruise Cunard thing. It is not an app. The thing from Vaikaya, which is a travel agency, that is not
Oops.
what I'm talking about. The thing that Cunard has is not an app at all. It is something you get to through a web browser.
Yeah.
So the thing that you're seeing as an app is not the Cunard app.
No,
because there isn't one.
It looks like an app, but it's running on a browser. So
well, the thing there is something called My Cruise, but it's through a third party. It's not
theirs.
Cunard.
Yeah. What's the best cruise for the Panama Canal? Well, that depends. So there's two different ways you can go through the Panama Canal. Actually, three different ways you can go through the Panama Canal. So there's a full transit with the original locks, the new locks. So the new locks are bigger. A lot of people want to go through the old locks, the historic locks. There is a partial transit from Florida. So you go into Gatun Lake, the ship turns around, goes right back out, but then you can take an excursion all the way through. And yeah, those are the three ways: new locks, old locks, full transit, or the partial. Again, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for that full transit, do you want to go east or west? How long do you want to be on? Those are much longer. You must have a passport for the full transit. You do not necessarily need a passport for the partial, although there are some, if you go to certain countries, you will have to have a passport to go on board. So the ones that we book the most are Princess, Holland America, Norwegian does them as well. But the ones that we have booked have been Princess, have ended up being Princess. I think Princess probably does a lot. I mean, they do a lot of them. So I think that, especially that partial transit, they do a lot of those partial transits. So that's probably why we booked so many Princess. So your first port of call is San Juan, St. Croix, and St. John. That's pretty much going to be our cruise in November, except we don't go to San Juan. You just got off the Bliss yesterday. Nice. You want to go on a cruise?
We go to San Juan. We don't go to
and St. Croix.
Yeah,
we don't go to St. John.
Well, it's Antigua, St. John, Antigua.
I got you.
Yeah.
You want to go on a cruise? Would it be okay to go by yourself? Absolutely. And we've talked about this earlier. If you're going to go as a solo, Virgin Voyages, Norwegian Cruise Line, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, all have solo cabins, so you don't have to pay for that second person. And then there are other cruise lines that offer no solo supplement. So yeah, you absolutely go by yourself. And there will be solo mixers on board the ship. What?
Even if a cruise line has a solo cabin, I still encourage you to compare the pricing to a regular cabin, even with the imaginary second person. Sometimes the pricing is not that different.
And actually, in the case of Virgin Voyages, it's cheaper to go in the regular cabin right now in Europe. So they're doing this thing with no solo supplement. So you can get a balcony cabin for the price of one person. And with the Insider and the Ocean View, it's actually cheaper to get the regular cabin, which is bigger than the solo cabin because of that no solo supplement they're doing right now. So are cruises safe for young adults when you get off at the port? As with any other travel, you have to be 100% aware of your surrounding. When you get off the ship in the ports, you are in a secure area. Think of it as an airport terminal. Okay, there is a gate, there is security. In order to get to where the ships are, you need to be an employee of the port, or you need to be a guest on the ship, or an employee of the ship. Those are the only people that are allowed in that secure area. Sometimes it's just simply the pier and a building. You walk through the building and now you're outside in the port. Other times it's a whole shopping center, like Carnival has built shopping centers, Royal Caribbean and some of the independent ports. They built this whole, there's shops, there's restaurants, there's even like Margaritaville and all that. And that's actually part of the secure port complex. So as with anything else, you need to do the research. it's just as safe or dangerous for anybody to get off the ship. I mean, and when you say young adults, how responsible are they? How much do you trust that they're going to make good judgment? Things like that. We always recommend, especially if you're going to a port for the first time, be on a planned excursion. Like have an excursion that you've already booked ahead of time. When you leave the secure area, there are going to be carnival barkers there. It could be up to 50 of them. Hey, take this tour. Hey, take this taxi. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Hey, do that. And they're going to like follow you and try to get you to do whatever it is they're selling. And they can be aggressive in some places. So if you have a pre-planned tour, you can ignore all that and just go to your tour. So it is no more safe or dangerous for young adults. You just need to look at do some research on the individual ports. Again, cruisecritic.com. They have a ports of call forum. It's a great place to ask questions about it. There are certain ports such as Falmouth, Jamaica, that Rebecca and I, we choose to stay within the secure port area in that particular port, unless we're on a planned excursion. That's the only way that we leave the port area. Then that's just us.
But we have had other people who
just walk around.
To each his own.
Yeah, to each their own. Your husband and I are going on your first cruise on Independence of the Seas next year. Congratulations. British Isles, I don't have tips, but Pamela did remind us, if you go to Tony Lalita Loca on YouTube, he has some tips on the British Isles. So go check him out. Oh, that's a great question, Jill Hartz or Jay Hartz. You're going to Disney World before a Disney cruise. Can you buy travel insurance to cover the entire trip? Yes, absolutely you can. Travel insurance is not just for one part of it, but you need to make sure that the travel insurance is set up so that, like with Allianz Global, that's who we sell, that's who we represent. I have to actually put the travel providers. So I would have Disney Cruise Line, and then I think it would be Walt Disney World Resorts would be right underneath it. So as long as you have that all listed, and you can do the flights, you can do your hotels, you can do everything.
You just include the price of everything.
Yeah, include the price of everything. And the other neat thing too, because we do this with our clients all the time. When they book the cruise, we may not be ready to book the flights and the hotel yet. So we go ahead and get the travel insurance, and then when we do the flights and the hotels, I just simply call Allianz and we modify their insurance plan to now add those extra things. And of course, there will be an extra cost. Maybe it's an extra $10, $20, $50 to add those things now into the policy. So that's the other thing too, and especially if you work with a travel advisor, is one of the things we do. We can go in and modify your travel insurance just by reaching out to Allianz. That's a great question. Thank you for that. Let's see about your flights. Yeah. Do I think cruise line loyalty is worth the effort, or do you lock yourself out of too much? So personally, what we've done, I want to travel on every ship. So we've been on 9 cruise lines. We've been on about 20 cruises, 21 cruises. 21 cruises, but we've been on 9 different cruise lines. So we have spread ourselves out. We're highest on Princess and Celebrity right now. Those are the 2 highest loyalty that we're in. Now, in terms of loyalty, they're all completely different. And then you have Virgin Voyages and MSC cruises that will match loyalty from other cruise lines, which is really cool. And MSC will match hotels too. So if you got loyalty in hotels, it depends on what they're offering and if you think it's worth it. Disney is kind of cool. I mean, they don't offer the most perks, but what they do is just every cruise counts and you move up the chain. That's kind of cool.
But they just don't. I mean,
they don't have a lot of cool
early
things.
Booking.
Yeah, you do get early booking.
But
I mean, you could take a bunch of 3-night cruises and you just work yourself right up their loyalty, the same as if you took 7-night cruises. But you got to look at what they're offering. Is it worth taking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 cruises on this cruise line to get this thing that cost me $50? Or should I just pay $50 to get the thing? I don't know. It's totally up to you whether the perks on that particular cruise. Me, I want to try every ship out there. I don't care about the loyalty thing. If we earn loyalty points, great. I don't care. I just want to go experience all the ships. That to me, I think you are missing out when you don't try the other cruise line, because if you get too locked into one, you're like, oh, I don't even want, I'm just so used to this one. Well, maybe there's something over there, because every cruise line is awesome. Every cruise line is annoying. It's just, what do you like the most of certain things? So, okay. When's the best time to go to Mexico weather-wise? I mean, I prefer Yeah, I'd prefer to go, more like a U.S. Wintertime. It's a little bit cooler. That's when I prefer to go. But there's also differences, I believe, East Caribbean coast and over on the West Coast, Riviera side. So you'll want to look at that. Have we been to the brewery in Port Canaveral? No, we have not. Can't get insurance being a New York resident through Royal, but you can get it through Allianz Global. We get travel insurance all the time for our New York clients.
I think that's true of any.
I think all of the cruise lines don't offer it in New York City because of the rules and regulations in New York City, New York State. But we get travel. I don't recommend travel insurance through any cruise line. I really don't. Viking actually has pretty good insurance, but the insurance that you get through the cruise line was heavily weighted towards canceling the cruise and getting your money back. If you actually get injured or you need to be medically evacuated during your cruise, you're going to be, S out of luck on a lot of those insurance policies. You're going to be paying a lot of money out of your own pocket. Like the Allianz Global policies that we offer is anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 in medical coverage per person, and $250,000 to $500,000 in medical evacuation. And very often, the price of that insurance is lower than the insurance on the cruise line. Very often. Or it might be $100 more, but you look at the difference in the coverage, and it's like night and day. So yeah, if you're a New York resident, you can reach out. Even if you didn't book the cruise through us, we can get the insurance for you if you'd like. So you can just simply reach out.
You can also
hey, Desiree, how are you?
You can also use insuremytrip.com to compare insurance companies.
Gotcha. Brenda, you just had 95 people to cruise with you. Wow, that's going to be fun. You need a new agent because your agent was overwhelmed. Well, yeah, reach out. I mean, we've got a very, very large group cruise that we're about to announce, and at any given time, we're managing about 200 or so bookings. Like I think right now we've got about 220 bookings on the board. So my background is television and film production. I had a over 30-year career, television and film production, creative marketing. I was a marketing executive for the last 10 years of my career. I am used to my entire career. I have managed dozens of projects at a time. I have managed people all over the world. I did 2 feature documentaries, 4 years of production each, where I had crews. I had crews in Africa. I had crews in South America. We had crews in the United States. Managed all of that for 4 years. I was part of a team that put on a convention in St. Louis for 40,000 people in a dome for 4 days. We designed the whole show and everything. So I'm used to managing big. This is nothing. What I'm doing right now with the travel, it's like, oh yeah, this is so. I just brought the same mindset from television and film production to what we do here. Every trip is a project. Every trip moves from left to right. We start with the planning and then the deposit, then the full payment, and then you finish the cruise. So yeah, we just keep moving everybody around the board. So yeah, I'd be more than happy to help out. where'swaltertravel.com. Click contact us. Click my little logo, hit the little contact us button, or if you're on YouTube, just go into the description and click contact us, and we'll be more than happy to talk. So yeah. So yeah, Brendan, certainly reach out. Wow, 95 people is a lot of folks. We're fixing to set up a group that's going to be even bigger than that in 2024. So more coming soon. Who has the best loyalty program? Whichever one has the best perks that you like.
Yeah, I mean, if it's stuff you're going to use, just look at go on each website and just see what they're offering.
Yeah. Zach, you're going to be spoiled on the Apex, that's for sure. It looks like a beautiful ship. Royal Caribbean or NCL? Yes. It depends on what you want. I will say that I think Norwegian. So when it comes to entertainment, they're pretty doggone close. The Royal Caribbean original shows are absolutely amazing. Norwegian has been canceling a lot of their Broadway shows, so I don't really know what they're going to be filling the space with. But when it comes to specialty dining, I would give the edge to Norwegian, probably. We really enjoy Norwegian specialty dining. So it just depends on what you want on the ship. Their ships have vastly different offerings.
Although I would say that the main dining is slightly better on Royal, and the buffet is definitely better on Royal.
Yeah, the buffet is definitely better on Royal, for sure. Lindsay just did the yacht club. Exciting. When you fly into Vancouver, how do we find our transfer shuttle to the cruise ship? You should be able to set that up in advance. If you've done it through the cruise line, the cruise line should tell you where to meet. Usually you go to baggage claim, you get your bags, Then there's going to be
a desk or somebody
representative.
With a clipboard.
Yeah. So if you book through the cruise line, certainly reach out to the cruise line. They should send you instruction. If you book through a travel agent, your travel agent will get you the instruction. So
and you can also just ask like any airport employee, and they will be able to at least direct you to who you need to ask.
Exactly. How with the Amex travel insurance, I do not know. I have no knowledge of that. Do I have a preference of a ship, larger, smaller? I don't. I really don't. Yes, Brenda, absolutely reach out. They're expecting you to plan the next one. Absolutely. Let's plan the next one. That'll be a lot of fun. We're managing 4 different groups right now. We have our own group that we're booking. I think right now between the 4 groups, we've probably got about 120 people that we're managing just between the 4 groups. So I've got a church group. We've got a wedding. Oh my God, we've got a wedding that we've got booked on Norwegian. And we have a big Thanksgiving cruise that we're doing on Virgin Voyages. And then we've got a horror film group. Oh my God, a horror film group. I might go on that one just to go meet them because they sound like a really fun bunch of people. But yeah, reach out, Brenda, please do. Walter, how do payments work with you? So the way that works is we get your payment information. We store that information securely. And then for each and every payment that we make on your behalf, we will make the payment on your behalf for every cruise line. Now with Virgin Voyages, you have the option to pay yourself. They actually allow you to pay on your own if you'd like. But everywhere else, we will send you a credit card authorization. So we don't touch your credit card. We do not make a payment unless you specifically authorize that payment, each and every payment. So first we make the deposit with the cruise line, and then your final payment's going to be 90 to 120 days before the cruise. Between deposit and final payment, you can make as many payments as you want. We have some clients that are making like $100 to $200 payments every single month, so they don't end up with that big bill at the end of the time. So each and every month, I would send you a credit card authorization. Walter, you're authorized to put $200 on my credit card. Once I get that signed authorization back from you, I make the payment on your behalf.
And the payment is, just to be clear, the payment is going directly to the cruise line. It's
correct.
Not coming.
Correct. We do not collect any money at all.
We are just facilitating the payment, basically.
Yeah. We just make the payment on your behalf, but we do not collect any money whatsoever. So, but that's how it works. Yeah. Yes. Royal Longshoremen possible strike. We talked about that at the top of the cruise.
In Vancouver.
Top of the show. Yeah. Only in Vancouver. And that will affect all cruise lines. So keep an eye on that. Also keep an eye on the possible train strike in August, which will shut down the Yukon and White Pass Railway. Where are we cruising out of? We cruise out of Port Canaveral the most. Can I please spell the name of the travel insurers? Allianz, ALLIANZ. And if you'd like us to get a quote for you, just reach out to us. We can sell insurance to anybody from the United States, whether you book the cruise through us or not. So do we give our clients refundable onboard credit? That all depends on the offer that's running that day. We have different offers for different cruise lines, so it all depends on what's going on. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay. So folks, we've been at this for 2 hours now. We're going to have to wrap it up because I have a call at 1 o'clock. It's 12:30 on the East Coast. We do this every Sunday morning at 10:30 in the morning. Thank you so much for reaching out. 10:30 Eastern time. Now Thursday night, tune in on YouTube, 8:30 p.m. I'm trying to line up guests every single week. Upcoming shows, we will have Virgin Voyages, Princess. We're going to Royal Caribbean. We're going to have MSC Cruises. We're going to have American Cruise Lines coming on, the small ships. And I got some other folks that we're working on as well. So I'm trying to get guests every single Thursday night so that the Thursday night shows will be a little bit different. Those are YouTube only. Where's Walter Travel? So the White Pass Railroad is not closed yet. You have to watch if the railroad goes on strike in August, that railroad will shut down. So they have not announced a strike yet. So so there you go. Have we done a Neptune ceremony or any other maritime ceremony? So the ceremonies on board a ship are only legal if there is a legal justice of the peace or a minister or something like that. So anyway, so next Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. We'll see you guys on both channels, and then every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, tune in to the YouTube channel to see who's going to be on the show that week. So everybody over on the YouTube side, thank you so much for joining in. We'll see you Thursday night, 8:30